Welcome everyone to the LFMS Marketing Symposium. I have the lovely Janet Johnson here. Thank you so much for being with us today, Janet.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Wonderful, amazing. And we are so excited today because Janet's going to be covering how to generate leads and sales from video and Facebook retargeting, so many cool things. But before we get started, Janet, would you mind sharing with us just a little bit about yourself and your story? I think you have an amazing story and I would love for the viewers to hear it.
Yeah, sure. I would love to share. I just kind of came back from a background of actually, I'm an elementary education major, so I was one of those that went to school, got the good grades, did the traditional thing, and when I graduated from college, I couldn't really find a job. So I decided to answer an ad in the newspaper. This is back in newspaper days, by the way, aging myself, and ended up running into a network marketing company that I did for 5 years. And so that put me into the entrepreneurial mindset. Later in life, I ended up running a daycare in my basement. During that time, I dabbled on eBay. So then that kind of gave me the taste of the internet. And ever since then, I have transformed my internet business into just many different things, from affiliate marketing to blogging to just do Google stuff. And now I moved to social media pretty much for the last almost 10 years now.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. It's interesting that you said eBay and daycare, because I have a similar story. I ran a daycare, hired a nanny to live in. So for 4 months, I spent in the laundry room with our only desk, ratty old desk, and learned how to generate leads. And my first thing I learned how to generate leads on was eBay.
Really? Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yes. eBay was like, I started shopping first. I'm like, ooh, I get to shop online. And then I'm going, wait, there's a way I could make money with this. That's cool. So then that kind of made me realize, hey, the internet's kind of cool to make money on.
Well, you definitely can. And one of the things that I loved about you and your story and some of the things we had talked about offline before, off this interview, is you had mentioned that people, getting started in video is scary for some women, and for some women it's like a no big deal. But can you start off sharing with us, there's a video that you started using for, I believe you have done work for jewelers as a niche, correct?
Mm-hmm,
and there's
yes.
a video you were sharing that I thought was so cool. That was just an amazing little piece of golden nugget you had shared with me before. And I would love for us to start out today talking about that, because it's not as intimidating as like going full board into video.
Yeah. The jewelry clients, the one of mine really loves what's called, it's an app. And the app is called Lumiere. So it's just on your phone, and it's Lumier. And it's as simple, and we're going to be talking about why this is important to be converting your pictures into a video, but you can just take a picture, and any picture, even if it's, the jewelers like to take a piece of jewelry and then they add a little sparkle. Lumiere just adds a little sparkle, or you can put snowflakes on something. I'll do even a blog post and put just anything in the background, fireworks, for the 4th of July. And then that creates it and turns it into a video within 10, 15 seconds. So it's that easy.
So that is beautiful. So you could take a blog post. So if you're a blogger as well, you could take a blog post, make it into a video, put it out there, and Facebook will love it a lot more than just a regular blog post.
You got it. Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. So what else do you do with the Lumiere? How do you say that? Lumiere?
It's Lumiere. I don't even know how to say it, to be honest, but I call it Lumiere because I kind of say the Y. Lumiere. Mm-hmm. Lumier. So it's just basically taking any square photo, converting it into a video by adding some special effects, and they have all the special effects in there.
That's awesome.
And it's free, but I pay for the paid version is, I believe, $2.99, something like that, one-time fee. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It gets rid of their logo.
That's a total no-brainer. So tell me what types of videos are best right now for Facebook?
Adding to what we were just talking about, Square video. So Square is actually the optimized type video right now for Facebook, not the typical 1080, high resolution. We always had to, we got to have that high res. Now it's kind of going back to, and I think it's because, well, first off, they own Instagram. So I think the Instagram world kind of spun over to Facebook. And then secondly, I think it's just showing, it's a little more authentic. And I think the Square isn't so perfect. And so it just feels like it's a little more authentic. So for some reason, Square video is actually getting more engagement. It is converting better. And I've done lots of ads. I'm actually doing a launch right now, and we're testing a graphic versus a video. And it's a Square video. And I'm getting about half the cost on my leads just using the Square video. Yeah, so and I've done this test over and over. 90% of the time I get better leads with the video, and with Square specifically.
I really like that. So if someone was doing a launch, with a new product, and they just had a simple image, they could take, they could take that Lamar app you were talking about, add some sparkle, turn it into a video, and then put that up on Facebook, like
test it. Yeah. The one I use is called Animoto for my actual launch. Like for that type of thing, I would want more than just a sparkle on my, for a blog post, that's fine. But I like Animoto because I tell more of a story in slide format in Animoto. So we're able to also put video clips in Animoto too. So you can kind of have it transition from like what your launch is going to be about to a little bit about you, maybe maybe a testimonial you stick in there, an actual clip of a video. So that's the kind of things that I've done. And Animoto is a super easy software that you can use for that too.
I love that. That's absolutely fantastic. And then with Animoto, you can still use the Square video too, correct?
They specialize in that. Yeah, they're actually the ones, if you Google buffer Animoto Square video, you will find the side-by-side tests that they've done. They wrote a huge blog post around it, and they've done a lot of testing. And this is kind of where I learned it from in the first place. Or are you Googling? You want to give them the right link?
I'm like, I got to Google that really quick.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine. Because Anna, it does, that is who I heard it from. They've been doing this testing side by side, and it will actually break it down. I also wrote a blog post about my ads too. So I do have a blog post, probably one of my most recent blog posts about all my side-by-side tests of Square video versus even just a graphic. But I have done regular video, and regular video doesn't work as good as the Square.
So can you share with us your blog so people can look that up? Because that would be great.
It's just janetejohnson.com/blog. And then you can just scroll through, and the titles are very big, and you'll see it there. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So, video is super important. So is there a particular reason why businesses should be using video now versus, images? You've just shared that the cost is less, but what else? Like, why else is it so important?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Well, going back to reach on Facebook, back in 2007-8, when I started, we didn't talk about reach. It was like you reached everybody. now we don't reach anybody, and that's the biggest thing is people are like, well, yeah, if I'm on Facebook and I have a business page, nobody sees my stuff, even if they've liked my page. Well, the way to get people to see your actual posts is the number one algorithm from Facebook, top hitting the news feed is Facebook Live. So if you really want to reach the most people, the most of your fans, or even on your profile, if you're doing it on your profile, your friends, that would be a Facebook Live. Number 2, biggest reach is video. So regular video is number 2. And then number 3 would be the pictures, and it kind of goes down from there. a share and a link are the lowest. So you really, Facebook Live is the top one, but video is kind of along with it. And they're just giving preferential treatment to video.
Wow. Well, there you go. I mean, that just answered the question right there. So now that we know that you should be using video, and so you start using video, you run some Facebook ads using a video as a business, talk to us about retargeting. I mean, that's a term that's thrown out there a lot. Some women that are watching this may know what it means, some may not. So can you share with us what that means and then how you go about doing that? And I know I've heard it's really inexpensive. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
It is. Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of areas that you can retarget on Facebook. And where you find this is inside your ads manager. And then you need to go to audiences. And there's an audience area where you can build all these different audiences that when you place your ad, you can choose a very specific audience that you only want this ad in front of. And who you think is going to purchase more likely from you? Somebody that has an idea of who you are and has seen you before, or a complete stranger? Obviously, the warm market, we always talk about that. So you can build these warm markets inside the audience areas. And one strategy that has worked extremely well is retargeting the people who have watched your videos. So the video viewers. I do this for many companies where you get the video viewers, you may get maybe 1,000 on a video or even 100 on a video. But then you put a little bit of money towards it, maybe $10, $20, $50, and you get, let's say, anywhere from, it depends on what kind of money you want to put towards it, how many you want to get. But let's just say you had 10,000 viewers. Now you can take, these people have seen something about you, whether it's a piece of jewelry that, people have watched, a video about a piece of jewelry, or whether it's us talking and sharing our expertise, anything like that, they've somehow built that trust, or at least are aware of who you are. Now you create that video viewer audience, and then you can put something in front, any ad that you'd like to in front of them. And this is where we kind of go more towards the conversion piece of maybe towards a blog post to build on that authority, or just email list, an email opt-in, building that email list in front of those video viewers. Or I just do offers. E-commerce works really well for just an offer, like a 10% off offer if you buy this piece of jewelry. So that's how we use video viewers. But I do want to add to it, there's other audiences too, such as page engagement. Anybody who's engaged on your page in the last year, you can create an audience of them. And they just launched, just a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, Instagram engagers. So you can actually, yeah. So more than just video, but video viewers works well because I think that's where you can build the like and trust. But now they have Instagram they brought in, so that's a great piece that you can bring in Instagram engagers, and you can even put your email lists in. So all these different audiences, you need to, if you don't know about audiences, you definitely this is where the money is on Facebook.
Well, that's amazing. So Jen, I have a crazy question for you because this is fun. If someone had a big launch, say you're looking at doing a big launch, do you feel like it's in their best interest to hire someone that's a professional like yourself versus doing it yourself?
Depends on how much you know. If you've never done ads and you don't even know what these if this is foreign language to you and you don't know this stuff, absolutely get somebody to properly set up your pixels, your audience. If everything is foreign language, yes. I would say yes. If you've done ads manager and you think, oh, I can handle these audiences and that kind of thing, and you've done enough before, then you could maybe handle it yourself, and training, or I would suggest an online course minimally, so you know what you're doing.
Right. Well, I've been online for 15 years running marketing, sales, digital agency. And I used to think, oh, I'm going to do everything myself. Now I've learned better. I always think, yeah, I mean, you can do it yourself if it's something small, but if you're really like launching something big and you're going to put money towards it, I am all about hiring an expert to run your Facebook ads. Just because they know what they're doing. They do it all day long, every day. They have the experience, and it can be a fun animal.
It's actually a crazy animal. I hired a business coach of my own specifically for Facebook ads, and it was 10 hours a week for 10 weeks on Facebook ads in December, January. Worst time I could have possibly done it because it was holidays, but yeah. So I mean, that's how deep these Facebook ads. If you got to know when to hit the retargeting, when to do, this piece, and how to write the ad copy. There's so many dang moving parts. It's crazy. And it's testing. If you don't have the time to sit and do the testing, then it's suggested to hire somebody that knows what they're doing. Yeah.
So one last question for you, and this is it's a novice question, but do you really feel like people can make sales off Facebook ads?
Yeah, I do it all the time, and I do help clients all the time. I launch funnels, and you probably know that term. You create that entire funnel that leads to a sale. So as long as you have a very specific, your end goal, and you have a strategy to get to that end goal. And that's the number one thing that I think people do wrong with the Facebook ads and with even putting out their videos. If you put out a video, what is your strategy behind that video? What do you want from that video? Why are you doing that? And how are you going to get it marketed out there? So we just did a Facebook Live even this morning because we're doing, working up to a webinar ourselves. And so the reason for that Facebook Live, we'll put some money behind it. That's a video viewer audience, you know what I mean? And there you go. And then we're leading to the webinar. And it's a true funnel. And if you don't have that in place, that's where I think people just throw their money away on Facebook ads. And video too. I mean, no, video isn't necessarily money, but video, why get in front of the camera and get your makeup on and all that, you know what I mean? And take the time and the energy to do all these videos if you don't have a plan with them.
Well, exactly. It's so important. So if you were to ask, if I were to ask you, what is one thing, because you've shared so many great things today, what is one thing that the women watching this could do right now, today, after watching this interview and go impact their business and make an impact? What would you suggest that one thing might be?
Simple one, if you are blogging or even building an email list, which I hope you're doing, and go into Lumiere, download that app. Let's use that app that we talked about. Go put old blog posts, recirculate your content, and take a graphic or create a new one, create a Lumiere, and then put that out on Facebook and put a little bit of budget, maybe $10 behind it. Second step, if you really want to add to it, then figure out how to put in audiences and create a video viewer audience for that specifically too.
That's great. I'm really glad you shared that. Maybe I'll go try that after this and I'll report back and tell you how it went.
Yes, good. That'd be great. I love it when people take action.
It's fun. So you have a free gift that you would love to give away. And I would love for women to get more information from you. Can you share what your free gift might be?
Yeah, it's called Ultimate Content Guide, Ultimate Social Media Content Guide. And basically what this does is it breaks it into your content on your social channels into different segments. And there's a lot of real world examples in there. And we talk about video in more detail and a lot of examples of what types of things that you should be posting on your social media. I believe it's like a 32-page guide, so it's pretty long and detailed.
That's amazing. I love that. And I'm super glad. And they'll be able to download that once they watch this video. It's right below the video. They can watch or grab the free gift there. So that'll be great. I really appreciate your time, Janet. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate you having me, Angela.
I mean, just go doing video, I think is going to be really fun for some of the women that have been doing it for a while. Just the tips you shared, especially about the Square Video and that app, that's really cool for bloggers even. Wow, I'm going to go test that out. And just thank you so much for your time. And for all of those of you who would like to follow Janet more and maybe perhaps partake of her amazing services, she's at janetejohnson.com, right?
You got it. Yep, that easy.
Awesome. And she blogs, so you can go read her blog too. So amazing. So much, Janet. And so everyone, please stay tuned for the next amazing interview on the LFM Marketing Symposium. Have an incredible day.